Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about the controversial subject of steroids in Major League Baseball. Throughout baseball history, steroids have been involved with the game, and today I'm going to be making the claim that steroids saved baseball. This has been a topic that's been thrown around. You've probably heard it now and then. It's something that hasn't been talked about too intensely, and I'm going to discuss it and tell you why steroids saved baseball. So as we all know and love baseball, steroids have been around. They've been involved, whether you like it or not. They've been around. Your favorite player might have done them. Favorite player from the 90s during the steroid era probably used them. Lots of guys did. A handful of guys didn't, and a lot of guys in the 2000s did and cheated without it. As we all know, got big popular names: Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, Alex Rodriguez, Ryan Braun, just to name a few. This season, Robinson Cano, he's suspended for the rest of his career due to steroid usage. So how did steroids become such a big thing in baseball, and how did they save baseball? Let's start by talking about Barry Bonds. Lots of people love Barry Bonds. A lot of people have opinions on whether he should be a Hall of Famer or not. Personally, I don't care. However, Barry Bonds is important to the game of baseball, whether you like him or not. He had such a great impact on his ability to hit the ball, drive in runs, and just be a great, entertaining baseball player. But he was a steroid user, so whether you like him or not, you can't deny the fact that he's important to baseball. He was a great player through his time in San Francisco and Pittsburgh, but he used steroids. Two other huge names that's always been linked with steroids are Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa. Their amazing home run chase and race in 1998 brought so many people into baseball and so many eyes to the sport that you can't deny how important steroids were. Because of their effect, lots of people love baseball and lots of people love the home run. We see today in the game, players are only trying for home runs. This is a lot of led to what they did in 1998. Home runs became so important and so enjoyable to the fan. Throughout baseball, a lot of players have used steroids, and every time it seemed to bring attention to baseball. You can look at A-Rod, Ryan Braun, and Robinson Cano. Some of these more recent steroid users, every time it's happened, lots of attention and lots of media eyes turn to baseball, thus helping the sport with publicity. Now, my argument here is not that steroids have brought attention to baseball and has brought publicity, because all publicity is good publicity. But every time there's been a cheating scandal in baseball, baseball ends up benefiting. Looking at the Houston Astros situation, for so long in the start of the 2020 season, before COVID and before it was all shut down during spring training, all of our attention was on the Houston Astros scandal and how it affected players and how everyone was reacting about it. Looking back just recently about the sticky substance issue, look how much attention baseball gained, and look how much we spend talking about baseball and not about other things. So all these cheating scandals, steroids isn't one of them. Every time there's been a report like Biogenesis that came out in the early 2000s, early 2010s, involving A-Rod for a second time, and some other notable players like Ryan Braun, we paid attention to baseball. Baseball was in the news. Baseball was getting attention. We were talking about baseball, which as a baseball fan and baseball in general, baseball wants. Baseball wants to be talked about. Baseball loves it when they're the main news story in the sports world. Before I continue talking about how steroids saved baseball, let's talk about steroids. They're really not that big of a deal. MLB suspends players, and that's rightfully so. They have a drug policy. They don't allow you to use this. So if they catch you using this, they have every right to suspend you. But what do steroids really do? Steroids kind of just help you in the gym. They don't really help your playing too much. Hitting a baseball is one of the hardest things to do in sports, and you still have to square it up to hit it 400 feet. It makes it easier because you're a little bit stronger, you're a little bit bigger, and you're a little bit faster, but it really just helps you physically. You still have to hit the ball, you still have to make throws, you still have to make plays. It doesn't necessarily make you into this great baseball player. It makes you a better athlete, but the difference between playing a great athlete and a great baseball player. Steroids aren't that much different from the 80s in baseball when there was the cocaine era. A lot of players were on cocaine, they played on baseball on cocaine, it helped them better, it helped them focus, and it just made their baseball playing experience better. Steroids is a lot similar, however, it's not illegal by the government, or at least not most steroids. People often like to say that steroids hurt baseball. Some people like speed and like contact and like high hit guys and think that steroids, since they increase the amount of home runs hit in games, hurt baseball. This is quite the opposite. A lot of speeds guys, so I've got some example being D. Gordon, a guy that hit a lot of singles, a lot of doubles, turned singles into doubles, bunted, played good defense, played the game hard, stole a ton of bases. He got caught using steroids in the Miami Marlins during the best season of his career. After his I believe his only All-Star appearance, he got caught using steroids, is suspended for 80 games. I believe it was after the new policy update. So, if your argument is that steroids only help you hit home runs and make the game more boring because they've increased the strikeout rate and increased the home run rate and decreased hits and stolen bases, you're just wrong. You're not paying attention and you're not reading the facts. A lot of guys that aren't just home run hitters have got caught using steroids. Steroids are benefits to every aspect of the game. Pitchers wouldn't use steroids if they only helped you hitting home runs. Steroids help every baseball player because they help you being an athlete, and however your game is, you have to be athletic. Baseball is a professional sport. To be a professional athlete, you have to be athletic. It's kind of just how it goes. So if you're going to use steroids, it's because it helps make you more athletic, and that's what they do, and that's how guys become better baseball players. They become more athletic. If you want tangible facts on how steroids save baseball, and not just numbers, well, I got you. In 1995, the MLB made $1.4 billion in revenue. In 1996, $1.8 billion in revenue. In 1997, $2.1 billion. In 1998, $2.5 billion. 1999, $2.8 billion. A huge spike in 2000 to $3.4 billion, and then continuously going up in 2001 to $3.7 billion. This is a lot of money. We're talking almost $4 billion, and by now we're well over $4 billion. This is due to steroids. This is peak steroid area times, 1995 to 2001. This is when baseball is being heavily televised due to amazing plays, amazing hitting, amazing offense, due to guys using steroids, high entertaining players, a lot of offense, a lot of impact, a lot of action. This is what fans like, and a lot of people don't like it, but that's what happened. These are tangible facts showing that steroids improved baseball. Now, why are these stats important? Just the revenue generated by baseball. As we all know, all professional sports are a business, but this is direct right from 1994. 1994 is when the MLB didn't have a World Series and had a strike. So these are going to be your most important years to see if the league goes down. They're probably going to fold and we don't have baseball. We'll have to have different leagues starting up. Because they were able to keep generating more money after a strike, they're able to pay the players and keep everybody happy, and have been going on for as many years as they have. This is how good business is run. This is how baseball has been able to run. Because at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, it's a business. And all businesses need to make money to keep going. So, whether you like it or not, steroids saved baseball. Your take on them is totally up to you. Whether they should be allowed in today's game is totally up to you, and that's a topic we can talk about another time. But steroids did save baseball. They increased the amount of money made for the league, which has helped the league keep going. They've changed the play style from more home runs and higher action, thus bringing in more fans and more attention to the sport. And every time there's been a steroid scandal or even any cheating scandal in general, we've talked about it, we've heard about it, and baseball's been at the forefront of sports news. Hopefully we won't hear about any more steroid scandals in the future, and all the news stories about how great players are like Shohei Ohtani and Fernando Tatis doing amazing things in the field, and we won't hear about any steroids, but steroids saved baseball.